early. Sometimes it's good to be early. But our show starts at a specific time. You should remember that. Let's get started then, shall we?
Dillon, I don't give a what you think about a co-host and freshen up my show.
It might not be flashy, but sometimes you just gotta toss another person to make a statement.
My show's about the people's podcast. Everyone has a voice. I don't need a co-host. Go listen to one of the other 5,000 shows with a co-host because they don't have a mouth like the big guy.
Opie, are you a career killer with Tim Sabian, yourself, and many others?
Be myself. Never had real issues with those people. They just understood that I was a different bird. The rest of them, though, I'm like, oh, shut up. I'm paying your salary because the ratings are so good, so shut up.
Right.
Live from somewhere, it's
Dillon.
Good morning or evening if you're not watching live. I am Dillon, your co-host here on Cohost Auditions, and today our host is Boogie2988. He is one of the bigger LOLCows. In fact, he is having a good year. He had LOLCow Boxing that was promoted by Keemstar. I believe he got his ass handed to him by Wings, if I remember correctly, and his pants fell down. That's about as much as you would want from a LOLCow Boxing, is someone's pants falling down. So thank you very much, Boogie, for having ill-fitting boxing gear. And let's go ahead and bring you in. He's wearing a red shirt. Actually, this is the second video we're going to watch. This one's came a little bit a few months after the first one, but that's the shirt we are matching. Together we are McDonald's, a good old red and yellow combination. But let's go to the first video. This one happened a few months before. Worst and best year of my life. Boogie's 2022 year in review. What happened in 2022, Boogie?
2022 was a year that happened to all of us. It also happened to me.
Are you going to make me play Harry Shearer already?
Since this is my channel and I like to talk about myself here, and you, for some reason, like to click on it, I thought we would do a year in review of what happened in my life in 2022.
What happened?
So many.
I need to pull
there's
that
also some
Fred
ups, and I
Willard
would
drop.
like to talk about those. So let's do a year in review. If you get bored at any point in this video, feel free to skip ahead to the ending there.
Okay.
I promise.
No, we're going to give him a
Wells
chance.
Fargo Active Cash Card.
But he does have this
cash back on
monetized.
what
Good for
you
Boogie.
want.
He got some commercials in there. And that gag cost me about 15 seconds of airtime, unless this second ad also is not skippable. Oh, it is skippable. Let's go back. I was going to vamp for a little while. We can go right back to it.
8 years old.
All right.
Shirts, which means the world to me.
Merch store. A lot of people have merch
a little
stores.
money to spend, but on top of that, support my artist friend. And I love
You're no
supporting
Sam
artists.
Barsky, though.
I love that you
Sam
support me,
Barsky
so this
has
is a really
some
good thing. I've got
very
new
unique
t-shirt
designs.
to come in 2023 as well. So
Big thanks to Tukey last night for including my Sam Barsky clips in Tukey Soup.
Has been, but hey, I got to go to both
I was a little disappointed that at the beginning it announces all these shows as terrible. I'm like, oh, shit. Whatever. Thanks, Tukey.
One in Dallas. I got to go to both Southeast Game Exchanges. I got to go to the one in South Carolina as well as the one in Mississippi. I got to meet a tremendous number of fans. I got to meet some of my favorite creators, like
Boogie
Retro
out there
Rick,
meeting new
Sarah
people.
Jenny.
Boogie has a new girlfriend.
I got to enjoy
She's pretty.
my time
He's making a
in
bunch
those
of videos with
exchanges.
her because,
thankfully, it's something I
of
can use
course,
for
when you
the
look like
business.
that, you
I
want
know
all
and
the
I
evidence
spend
of you
money as
and
well.
your
So I
attractive
really
girlfriend
enjoyed
that you
having
can
done that
get.
in 2022, and I'm looking forward to doing it again in 2023. I already know I'll be at Southeast.
Good morning,
Games
Dabble
next week.
Historian.
Soon
He's
I'll
having
be at
fun
Games
looking
as
for
well.
Danny
So
Glover's
this year,
interview.
2022,
John's Danny
I
Glover.
got a
Oh, is
gym
there a
membership,
John Danny
all
Glover
because of the
interview?
idea that I might get to box
When I
this
mentioned
fall.
Danny Glover, I was just
Now,
comparing him
I
to
don't know if that's
myself.
looking very good, but I'm still down to
Too
box
old for
somebody
this
who's
shit.
in my weight class. Ethan Ralph, Airsoft Fatty, one of you guys down?
That's enough of the
Let me know
shower,
so I can
Boogie.
doing it. But that's
Yeah,
it.
that
I
does
don't
sound like
know
a fun clip.
I honestly took leave. That's amazing, and it's been really helping. And I'm pretty
Enough
far
of
from
you without a
seeing
shirt. I
this
get
stuff,
enough. If I'm going to
but
see a
it's
fat guy
been-
without a shirt, it's going to be B Dabbler. No, those are some titties.
I'm
El
getting to see
Horrible,
it.
I'm
But
sorry.
today,
B
I've
Dabbler is
definitely
the
been handling
channel.
things a little bit better in my personal life, even in my career. And I'm really proud of it. I'm actually really glad I did this. And I'm going to talk about it a lot more towards the end of the video, so stick around. So that's some of the good stuff. There's other stuff I won't point out here, but I think it's important to get to the bad stuff because that's why a lot of you tuned in.
Yep, that's why we're here.
Below if you were waiting for this part. First thing.
Well, we want to hear the good things. So you went to conventions. I don't think you met your girlfriend at this point because you would have been shoving her up front.
I think people are going to want to talk about.
You want that? Boogie is very good on his. I'm learning the thumbnail game here on YouTube, and derpy faces are a good thing here on YouTube. And the derpy face that he makes in his thumbnails, he has really learned how to play that thumbnail game, as I am figuring out.
That'll get its own video at the beginning of the new year, like I always do. But the channel continued to take the same beating it's been getting since 2019. It's doing about as well as my arteries are, which is to say I've lost a good number of subscribers each month, generally about 10,000 on average.
Actually, that is something to keep track of. This is the more you know part of the program where I tell you could be a very healthy person, but you need to check your heart. I've had several people in my family have heart attacks, and do I have the more you know? Yeah, here we go. So be sure to check your arteries, check your bowels.
Pretty neat, huh? Okay, now cue the music and that star thing.
Hey boys, feel your balls. That way you won't get cancer. Danny Glover was John's first interview, says Dabblestorian, and that it's weird that John can't even get Danny. Well, Danny Glover, he showed up he was the big star in Saw. The first Saw was a very low budget movie, just two guys in a room, and they got the star of Danny Glover to help get them a budget. As I was mentioning, of you get a star attached, it's much more likely that you'll be able to get investors to give you $1.5 million rather than $500,000 for your low budget movie.
And then on top of that, I've raised the number of views in the last couple of months, and I'm really glad. That's mostly because I've been uploading way more often. But then, the views are just not what they used to be. But I'm not complaining. I think it's a damn miracle.
This is before the LOLCow Boxing was announced, so hopefully you're on the uptick again. I imagine you would be.
This channel, people are still watching, specifically because the quality of my content's not very good. There's no rhyme or reason to what I'm talking about, to what I'm filming. So much of it's videos like
the LOLCow Boxing. I was unaware. It wasn't even in America. It was at Wembley Stadium, or as Hulk Hogan says it in his song, Wembley. I cannot help but put that extra symbol in Wembley, not the Wembley Stadium, but Wembley Arena is where the LOLCow Boxing took place.
It does not have a mass appeal kind of thing. So I respect and understand the people that leave, but for those of you who stick around, God bless you, and I'm so grateful to have you. Another thing that really sucked was seeing some of my favorite content creators who I've always watched, some of which I still watch religiously to this day, like Charlie, say some very negative things about me.
Is that
if you were following me on
his
Twitter,
full name, Charlie?
Channel, I did not take it very
well. A little ambiguous there.
I lashed out. I got hurt. I was angry. I was sad about it.
But Charlie has a last name. Looks like it's Klein.
Ethan,
good for him,
Charlie,
having two names.
Gold, and a lot of these guys, they're just disappointed in the amount of bullshit I put.
Not like Cher. Like Cher is very unique enough to just be Cher. In fact, I can't think of another Cher that actually has a last name.
Shit. So I really don't blame them for calling me out on my bullshit. I really don't. And it's something that I want to work on.
And those those detractors, rather, of Boogie, know that he is full of shit. I think he's one of the many LOLCows, like one of the hobbies. You can have like a DSM-4 of, are you a LOLCow? And one of the things it's someone else's fault. It's not my fault. And I believe that's a big trait of Boogie, is that it's always something else, always someone else's fault. So look at him here, owning up to mistakes. Good for you, Boogie.
Who just enjoy the train wreck and just want me to wreck as beautifully as possible. And those people exist, but Ethan, Charlie, Asmongold, these people are not them. These are people who are trying their best to be supportive in a critical way. And I think I learned that lesson this year, and I'm kind of grateful for it. Now, this I wanted to leave out of the video.
Crypto Cash. This section is called Crypto Cash, and looks like 1928. 6. I got to do my Depression era research to get the exact year on the late 1920s in which his cryptocurrency looks to have gone.
Talk to me about your crypto crash and talk to me about your financial stuff. So we got to go over that as well. For those of you who don't like it, go ahead and skip ahead. But yeah, obviously crypto crashed in 2022. But let me put a positive spin on it.
Actually, Val Venus tomorrow, he's talking about crypto as well. I previewed the video, and we'll be picking up right where he stops talking of crypto and gets on a rant. Oh boy, Val Venus has really become a character. Dabblestorian is very down the John Melendez rabbit hole. His guest canceled last night. Said he had blackmail material on another potential guest and implied he cheated on Susanner. And Patty C-Cups is getting back to Dabblestorian. How bizarre Patty parody and said it's stupid that yeah, it's so difficult to approach Patty. He is like a stray cat, and you never know when he'll let you pet him or when he'll come over and scratch you.
Okay. Yeah, I lost my ass, but I learned a lot of important lessons. Like, don't put your money in crypto. It's an unregulated market. It's hugely risky and silly to do. And obviously, I didn't lose everything. Obviously, I still have a small amount of savings, like I said in the video asking for help. And I've been living off of it for a while, and I can live off of it for a short period further. And it's really taught me how to budget again. It's really taught me how the value of a dollar again. It's really taught me to...
Oh, not the value of a dollar, the value of crypto, at least.
Making more videos and live streaming more, which is something...
Oh, that's another LOLCow. LOLCows are terrible with money. Darkside Phil being one of the biggest rabbit holes I fell down, and he is in major denial, but it's proven with beyond a reasonable doubt that he is spending tens of thousands of dollars a year still on a mobile WWE game. And even it's not even the popular one. Like DSP and 3 other pay pigs are keeping WWE champions up and afloat. They can't take it offline because as long as there is 1 or 3 fools paying many thousands of dollars a year, like over $100,000 in his lifetime on this one, and this gotcha game, as they call them, that's not the only one Darkside Phil was addicted to. That's the one we know of. So we are well aware that he has spent over $100,000 on this one mobile game.
Something my anxiety, my depression, and everything else was not letting me do. But now I'm live streaming more. I'm making more videos, and I'm having fun doing it. It's the first time YouTube has been fun.
I'd have fun with a pretty girlfriend too, doing videos with me.
I'm grateful that I got pushed,
especially if she was a cam girl. Hey now.
Direction.
I went out on a date with a cam girl, and it went very well, and we made out for quite a while, and then she ghosted me. I'm not trying. She was actually a fan of my comedy. I've done open mic stand-up only 2 or 3 times since I've been here and somewhere, and I have my unique set. It blew her mind, like, that was you? And yeah, like everything was going well, but I'm not trying to figure out how a cam girl's brain works. I was trying to help you get some more money by putting on a lucha mask and doing more than a solo show. I know me personally, when I see a cam girl show, I prefer there being a wiener rather than a dildo.
Wish it had been something else.
Let's go back to your dildo instead of your Dillon.
Then, of course, there's the internet's reaction to the video where I divulged
almost good wordplay there. That was a half a good wordplay there.
All of this and then asked for help. And you know what? The people that are closest to me on my channel, the people who follow me every day, you guys reacted to it very normal and healthy, in my opinion. Like, hey, Boogie, I'll watch more videos. Hey, I'll drop more likes. Hey, Boogie, I might check out your merch or your Patreon, right? Like, thank you.
This is so odd, this editing technique that I guess he's trying to get it a little bit of variety, so we're not just looking at his dumb face in his basement. We're looking at his dumb face outside. We're looking at his dumb face out in public.
The internet at large took it as an opportunity to tear me apart. And this is like the 20th or 30th time I've been publicly shamed, so I'm kind of numb to it. But also this time I listened to creators and listened to what they had to say and learned the lessons that needed to be learned. I should have never made this video to begin with. I should have instead brought value to the table, created a podcast, created a show, created something of value that people would want to spend money on, not just ask for free internet money.
And it was actually Darkside Phil himself who messed up getting Boogie a profitable podcast. Keemstar wanted to pay them all, I think it was $50,000 or $100,000 up front. And, you know, there's more money to be made along the way for Boogie, Wings of Redemption, and Darkside Phil to do the LOLCow podcast. And Darkside Phil, and he wouldn't go along with it. So in reworking his ideas, he was like, nuts to that podcast. I got Boogie and Wings boxing match.
It was so stupid. I mean, looking back on it, I really do understand the criticism, and I really do understand why the internet at large took it so negatively. One of my biggest regrets, probably in my lifetime, for sure. But at least
Ooh, I'd like to see that list. Is that a physical list? I would get behind your paywall to see you read off that physical list of your biggest regrets.
the lesson from it,
And
and
it
I
should
can take
be
that with me in
ascending because you
2023.
don't want to lead off with the biggest regret. You want to get to number 20 and then spend a good amount of time getting in detail, ending with your biggest regret.
I've got a few project
And
ideas.
think it over a bit. Maybe it isn't this right here that is your biggest regret,
and let's
releasing
just
that
see.
video.
Let's see if we can come up with something that people think is worth their time and money, and everything will work out just fine. Then there's probably the worst thing to happen to me in 2022. Probably the worst thing to happen to me in my lifetime, which is finding out that I have a rare form of cancer called polycythemia vera, which was brought on by the
That's not funny.
testosterone adoptions I took. And you know what? I'm trying to be positive about it. It's hard. I was already at a pretty high risk of stroke or heart attack, and that sucks. And this vastly increases that risk. Prognosis on it is like 20 years, so I'm not going to die anytime soon. But
I was at a local wrestling show this past weekend, and they had a comeback from someone who legit came back from a very harsh type of cancer, but oh boy, he could not cut a promo. He was rambling on like the modern wrestling promo where it's like, we need to fill 20 minutes to make our point. No, you need to go back in the day. And like when it turned into from rambling to emotional rambling, and it's like, I'm with you, but oh boy, you need some speech classes, some acting classes.
There's always the chance that
Mr.
other issues I have with the
small-time
obesity
wrestler,
and heart problems and everything else, and I'm just like really nervous about it and really scared about it. I will say that people reacted so wonderfully. Content creators were so kind. Other YouTubers, fans, friends, family, people were very supportive and very loving and very understanding. God bless you for it. There were those out there who decided that it was a McJuggerNugget style bid or some sort of manipulation or an attempt to make money. But I mean, anybody with brain realizes I didn't put up a GoFundMe, realizes I didn't even put ads on this video. Like,
well, you should try to go through third and fourth parties. If you have some beloved chatters, they could send it to someone who sends it to someone who sends it to you. Back to the Dabble story in John Rabbit Hole. Ooh, Stuttering John has a new girlfriend. We're gonna have to see who has the more attractive and better personality girlfriend with Boogie versus John. LOLCow girlfriends. That is a fascinating person to follow. Apparently, she keeps calling dirty and asking to clean his place, car, and shower. She got a rash and stubble. John's place is brand new. It shouldn't be so dirty to give his new girlfriend a rash.
Money, it's about
and Boogie appears to be cleaner than the other LOLCow of Stuttering John. We don't see much of Darkside Phil's house anymore, besides the half-assed background that he puts up. He won't even get his posters on the wall. They're just leaning up against the side. Get a day labor. Like, that's too hard of work to mount a poster for Darkside Phil, but you can go buy Home Depot and get a day laborer for real cheap if that's all you have them doing.
Getting the support emotionally that you guys have been able to provide, and God bless you for it, because I'm really scared. And in 2023, this is hopefully going to be the motivation that I need to finally get some of this weight off, because it's a do or die situation. No pun intended. It's do or die.
Boogie2988 and his weight loss, very much like Foodie Beauty, and I get some of those. Is Foodie Beauty Emberlyn Reed, or are those two different people? But some of the larger lol cows, literally cows, they many times will say, I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to lose weight. And they'll make these big declarations. You don't want to make those big declarations. We saw how it went with the mud shark earlier this year. I'm not going to get drunk this entire year. I'm going to go. And he wasn't weaning himself off either. He had a big New Year's Eve getting drunk fest, and he's blatantly been hammered on stream since then. Oh, I had it backwards. John's new girlfriend gave him a rash. Well, I'll trade you a rash for a genital herpes is how that went. Let me see if I can get that clean. I'll trade you one genital herpes for one rash because of stubble. Yeah, the I don't the shaving of the pubic region, that's actually a pain in the ass, because like you put on your underwear and then that tightness will cause ingrown hairs and such stubble.
Like if I don't lose another
odd.
100 pounds, if I don't get under 300 pounds in 2023, I don't know that I'll make it through 2023. And I'm scared.
Because ingrown hairs, those aren't contagious.
Now, if you are jumping around looking for the positive thing that I wanted to leave you with, this is it, okay? I'm doing really well with all this stuff. Normally the holidays is really rough. It's really not been that bad this year. And I don't know exactly what it is. Maybe it's the therapy that I've done. Maybe it's just that I'm finally healing from all of the trauma and self-inflicted wounds that I've dealt with throughout my entire life. I don't know. I feel very zen, very Buddhist about it. Just kind of, it's okay, right? And I'm choosing to focus on the positive because a lot of great things happened to me this year, right? Like, here's the thing about life. Life has a tremendous amount of negativity.
Gary Delabate, can you give us a overview on what Boogie's telling us?
My professional life is like at a 9, and my personal life is at like a 2.
And since then, his professional life and his personal life are now closer to a 9.
Guaranteed when you were born, you will get sick and die. You will bury the people that you love. You'll have your heart broken. All of this shit's guaranteed. That's the human experience. But the positivity, that's not guaranteed, right? Not everybody gets to travel. Not everybody gets to meet their fans. Not everybody gets to hang out with other content creators. Not everybody gets to swim. Not every fat man lives to 48 years old. How amazing is it that I'm still alive? So every day I wake up, I try to be.
And I think Boogie has been looming around 400 pounds for a while. So 400 pounds at that age, you are playing with fire.
And it makes the negative stuff seem a little bit easier because we all do.
Oh, who was it that says you don't see any old men, any jolly fat old men? You only see little petite old men, because that's your body as you're big. You don't want to be that big as you're getting older.
We all deal with shit. We all deal with shit, but not everybody gets to have good shit.
For longevity.
You have plenty of good shit.
That is.
You do, even if it's just a small part of your life, only small part of it's good. If you learn to focus on that small part, everything else gets a lot easier. And that's how I'm approaching 2023. Focusing on the good and cleaning up the bad, and whatever happens, happens. But by God, when good stuff happens, we're going to celebrate. You and me right here on this channel. We're going to try to push away that negativity as best we can. Fingers crossed. Let's see how we do. Now, if you made it all the way to the end of this video, that makes you a super fan. I want you to know the keyword for this video. The keyword is New Year's. Tell me what you...
Sounds like a word of the day. Do you have a nice alarm like Pee-wee's Big Adventure? Not Playhouse. Big Adventure didn't have the word of the day. It was the Playhouse that had the word of the day.
Tell me what you're going to do in the new year. What outlook do you have for the new year? Do you have any New Year's resolutions? Let me know in the comment section below, and I know you made it all the way to the end of this video. But until next time, as always, thanks for watching. I love you very much, and I'll speak with you again soon. Here's to an awesome year next year. Fingers crossed.
On to his second video, but that was actually a big drama with Boogie, was his former girlfriend. She, after so much time with Boogie, who was, I think he's a gaslight expert, if I remember correctly. I haven't gone down the Boogie rabbit hole as much as I have other LOLCows, but the former girlfriend, she was yelling at him.
Leave me the fuck alone!
And this new one, hopefully she doesn't go down that path. Hopefully you will have a nice few years together, or even more. Maybe the rest of your life, being your 48 and 400 pounds. That may not be too... You may not be long for this world at that weight and that age. I can confirm that Stuttering John's mole was Royce. Dabble Historian says, oh, Royce's... I always wondered why I'd never been to Royce's Pinball, and it's because it's in shitty Canoga Park, which is way out of the way. I had been to like all the pinballs around Los Angeles, even the Family Arcade in Hollywood. They had, you know, not a barcade. Actually, I think it was a straight shot from the Dive Barcade in Koreatown. And that one is featured in the Angry Video Game Nerds movie. Very needlessly, they spent money on that location just because it's the nerd movie. We've got to go to an arcade. And the 82 in downtown Los Angeles is an awesome set, but I can see why they didn't go there. Filming for that location would have been so much more than the Dive Blipsies. That's what it is. Blipsies in Koreatown, the Dive Barcade.
First off, I guess I should let you know I'm doing great, which is weird. It's the new normal. I'm starting to get used to it though. I at first I really didn't know what to do with it. First off, I guess I should let you know I'm doing great, which is
You're
weird.
doing it,
It's
Boogie.
the new
You're
normal. I'm
doing
starting to get
it.
used to it though. I at first I really didn't know what to do with it. I'll talk about that a little bit more as the video goes on. So stick around if you really want to know how I'm doing. But that said, I got some other cool stuff to talk about. First off, I want to say I went back on a podcast that I've done, I think, 7 total.
I'm a big fan. That might go in my entrance. What a hype up for a show. I'm going to tell you how I'm doing, and I'm going to tell you some other stuff. Stay tuned.
Times. A podcast that liked to kind of shit on me after my last appearance, and probably
Painkiller
rightfully so,
already?
if I'm being honest.
Oh, no, that was
They invited
Wings.
me back
Wings
on the
was part
show
of
after
Painkiller already.
a last-minute cancellation. And I did the show for about 3 hours, which was a good amount of time. And I sat and talked with them about a bunch of different things, what I've been going through in my life. I talked to them about the fight coming up with Wings of Redemption. It's just general life stuff and some gaming news and some goofy shit. It was actually a pretty good time. And I think it was pretty different from my last few appearances. Last couple times I was on that show, I was in full-on obnoxious Boogie character mode where I was like, pretending I was bigger than I was and better than I was.
Are you one of these people that you're a character when it's convenient for you to be a character, and you're real when it's convenient for you to be real? That seems like what I know of you. That seems like behavior of this cow of
I
lols.
was like trying to project, and the girls I might.
You just need to go to theater class to learn how to project, Boogie.
I slept with, and the people I might have beat up, and all this stupid shit. It was obnoxious and self.
Talk from your diaphragm.
And I watched a lot
I
of clips from.
I can't do that public speaking directly into the mic. I don't want to blow your ears out.
Previous episodes, those last couple episodes.
I gave a friend tinnitus with my fucking voice. I can get loud.
I did them. I watched them before the psychedelics, and I watched them after the psychedelics. And before the psychedelics, they already made me cringe and make me feel terrible about myself. And people's reactions made me feel terrible about myself. After the psychedelics, I just
still haven't gotten used to that. Yeah, understandable. It's just go.
Why was I being so inauthentic? Why did I think people would fall for that shit? Why? I don't know.
Oh, Boogie has more commercials. Good for Boogie getting some income. One day I hope to join you. What was that? 2 minutes in? Boogie. I do not like the 2 minutes in commercials. 5 minutes in or more acceptable.
Like waking up from a bad
for a video
dream.
this
like having
size.
been possessed by the devil. Like that's genuinely how it feels. It genuinely feels like I had been possessed.
You see, when you have ads that frequent, as I have trashed other people for, this is what I think you're doing.
You are trashing my scene.
So I will trash people who put way too many commercial breaks into their show, because I'm pretty sure you've got to be the one that controls that. Someone was saying YouTube is doing it. I can't imagine that YouTube is forcing it on you. Dabble Storian, Stuttering John was moving arcade machines for Royce. Yep, a grunt, and he doesn't like to admit his grunt work. Danny Glover was apparently on the UK Deal or No Deal. I haven't seen Danny Glover. Yeah, the Saw movie is the last time I remember seeing Danny Glover in anything. And Gone Fishing, that's a dumb movie I love referencing. Joe Pesci and Danny Glover did more together than Lethal Weapon. They went fishing together. Whoops, wrong one. There we go.
By a spirit that was controlling my mind and my body and making me do the dumbest, craziest, idiotic shit. And now I feel no desire to act that way. I feel no desire to feel that way. There's nothing in my heart that says be that person anymore. Which is good because it was a sincerely self-destructive person. I'm really glad that that has changed. And I do think the psychedelics combined with traditional therapy both have helped.
Oh, microdosing. I know people who definitely say microdosing helps them a lot. I am not a microdoser. If I had my way, I would macrodose 2 to 4 times a year. That is a fun little vacation. Do not do that shit too often, folks. Your brain will get fried.
That always is the thing.
I imagine you will. I've seen someone's brain get fried off of acid. I haven't seen a fried psilocybin brain. But yeah, there was a worker who couldn't put together to go get a ladder to get something on a high shelf. We're just going to have to wait till someone taller comes in is the only thing he could figure out to get something on a tall shelf.
About being like mentally unwell. The thing about being mentally unwell is you can't know that you're mentally unwell. You've heard phrases like can't see the forest for the trees, that type of thing. That's what it's like to be mentally unwell. When you think you're doing things right, or the things are the way they are, the voices are real, or your actions are the right actions, or whatever.
Voices is schizophrenia. I believe I ran into a schizophrenic the other day when walking the dogs, when the guy, "What'd you say about my clothes?" What? And really just angry at me. He heard someone say that his threads fucking sucked. And since I was the only one around, I have to assume that was a schizoid voice he was talking to.
Telling you to do. I don't know. You can't perceive correctly that that's not the right thing to do. At least I see it now. The good news is I think I'm done with psychedelic therapy for now. There may come a time where I need it again, but as it is right now, I have no intention of going back to that well.
Psychedelic therapy, is he up in Oregon? I believe it's decriminalized up there. I would love to open a psilocybin donut shop, like a jelly donut, an adult jelly donut. Here's our $30 adult jelly donut, our $50 jelly donut, and our $150 adult jelly donut. Do not eat this one all at once. Share this adult jelly donut for $150. Dabblestorian thinks Stuttering John is streaming today, and if DG is back, he's blurring him and putting a picture over him. Yeah, DG is even less fascinating than Joey C.
Because I feel like I'm in the
not enjoying that part of the Dabbleverse as much.
And I'm going to stay here as long as I can.
Not diving into that pool so far.
Then I'm just keep doing this because I feel like I'm my most authentic self right now. I hope this video is the most authentic self that I could possibly put out there. And
well, you can be an authentic self. A video can't be an authentic self. It's a video, not a human.
I don't want to risk changing that. I like the balance that I've struck here. Now, when it comes to videos, I've been doing like Francis bits and sketches and goofy stuff. Not
Francis. Even more Pee-wee references. That's right. Boogie's first name is actually Francis, isn't it?
Stuff with like trying to reinvent the character and just having a lot of fun.
I'd go by Boogie too.
Doing it. I've also been doing.
Can't you call yourself Frank? Isn't I know a lot of. Well, not. I know at least one Francis who went by Frank.
Gaming news again every Wednesday. So if you have not been seeing those videos and you would like to see them, click on the channel, watch them after you finish this video. Or I mean, honestly, go watch them now if you want. This is the type of content that I wish I had been making, that I should have been making, instead of, content only like this.
Oh, I also didn't trim my neck beard today in honor of Boogie. I got these parts out, but here's a little neck beardy for in honor of Boogie2988.
And I'm glad that you're watching it. Thank you for making it 5 minutes into this video. But I know it's not interesting to everybody, and it doesn't really add value. I think it might be valuable to a handful of people, but I think entertainment and goofy stuff or news or things like that adds more value to more people. So I plan to keep doing this. I plan to provide value as best I can by talking about my personal life, my personal story, my personal experiences, my mental health, and stuff like that. But there's a lot of value that can be provided by actually going back to trying to be an entertainer. And sure, these videos are getting 10,000 views and upload. But I said years ago when it got down to 10,000, when it got down
and
to
his videos are trying to be an entertainer. He's going on location and doing stuff with a pretty girlfriend out in GameStop. And there was a few other videos that I previewed that didn't lend itself well to this style. But these two lend itself to the co-host audition format.
2,000 views. I keep doing this. And here we are, and I keep doing it. But I do believe
it's time for you to get your reading.
Does believe it's time to make some money.
Your eyes and start.
I do genuinely.
Yep, every 2 minutes. Shit. Nope. I'm not until I have a business account am I going to get that YouTube Premium. Shit.
In the universe that is like continue to make content that I enjoy making. People who enjoy watching it,
add another 2 minutes, huh?
Everything will be as it's supposed to be. So I'm just gonna keep doing what I do, and hopefully you'll keep enjoying it. My physical health is in a weird place right now, considering everything.
Your physical health has always been in a weird place. When you get to that part of the obesity scale, it's a weird place.
In my body. But here's the good stuff to report. I'm not really losing weight, but I'm building the hell out of some muscle. And I'm doing that by working out every day. And I'll be honest with you, I work out less than an hour a day because my back pain eventually tells.
It was a celebrity fit club, wasn't it? That they were like, actually, you gained weight because you built muscle. You are such a flabby person with no muscle. This weight gain is actually muscle weighing more than your fat. And I think a lot of people attach to that. And that's what they like to believe of muscle building and not losing weight. But from what I could tell, their reaction, that seems to be more rare. Some of the very obese with very little muscle mass, that seems to be more the case. And most people at that weight have a lot of muscle mass because it takes a lot of effort. Your body needs that muscle in order to carry all that fat
tells me
around.
to set the hell down and stop. And I listen.
The muscle is just underneath all those layers of fat. Fat rises above muscle. I remember that science lesson in school. I think Beekman's World or someone did a
is I do not want to
experiment showing that off.
But I'm on my feet more. I'm in the floor playing with the puppies more. I'm doing my leg lifts. I'm doing my weightlifting. I'm doing my bag exercises. And that's where I think my biggest progress is right now. When
my bag exercises, there was a tickling balls joke there. I thought I was going to put together by the time I opened my mouth, but I didn't. So there's that swing and a miss.
I first started tapping on that bag, all I could do was tap on it, and I could go for 30 seconds and get exhausted. Now I can do like a full 5 minutes of just going ham on that thing. I've uploaded footage of that to my Twitter, and you can see there if you want. I'll probably put it on TikTok and Reels later today if you want to go look at it. But I'm really impressed at the skills that I'm getting. I'm still not working with a professional boxing trainer. I'm waiting until the contract is fully signed before
I know Wings spent a lot of time with a boxing trainer. Wings came out looking very good. I heard actually less of Boogie than I did of Wings of Redemption, getting a lot of goodwill from that. And
spend the money on that. But that said,
no boxing trainer.
I'm showing some real progress. And another thing is I'm getting better sleep. It's not great sleep, but I'm not really having nightmares anymore. I think I've told you guys many times, all I ever have is nightmares prior to these psychedelics. Now I have just like normal dreams. And those dreams are kind of boring.
I'm picturing him with night terrors. Just this very large man. Ah! Oh, man. If I would have known he was going to talk about night terrors, there's a TikTok clip that would have went along with that very well at the end.
My doctor recommended I get an adjustable bed to help with my sleep pain and help with my sleep apnea. And I did it. And most nights I'm sleeping on my back or on my side instead of my stomach, and I'm getting better quality sleep. And the bed I got like tracks my sleep and my heart rate and my breathing rate and stuff. And it's like really cool. It gives me a sleep score every day, telling me how well I slept the night before. And it's training me and teaching me to, I'm a gamer.
A+. You only woke up in the middle of the night once. Well, that's got to be an A if you wake up at all. You don't get the plus for that. I actually don't remember when Boogie begged for money in his garden in order not to see his arcade machines. That one, that one's new to me. I haven't gone down the Boogie
gamer, right? I want
rabbit
the sleep
hole
score to go up
as much as I have Dark Side Phil.
That will make it better.
I love that Dark Side Phil rabbit hole.
Later in the day, and I don't eat before bed, and I don't play any video games or look at any screens before bed. Like I'm trying. I'm putting effort into getting good sleep. And I think that's making a huge difference as well. And on top of that, I'm taking the right supplements for the first time in my life. And that seems to be making a difference. So all of these things coming together to making me feel healthy. And
Wait. So you would take in the right supplements? See what happens when you get off the left supplements?
Giving me strength and endurance that I have not had since I was in my 20s. I don't know if I look any different. I don't know if I look any better. I genuinely don't keep track of that. And I know the scale number hasn't gone down. But that said, there are other ways to measure how healthy you're getting. And
just little exercise does help in the beginning before you hit that wall. Like the first couple of weeks when you start exercising, you feel like you can take on the world where it's really coming right off. But within that third week to a month, it slows down that weight loss. So people do lose their motivation.
It's very measurable for me, and I'm very proud of that progress. And in terms of my mental health, I think it's also in a very weird place. I've taken a pause on my traditional therapy. I've taken a pause on my psychedelic therapy, and I've been delving into philosophers, going back over Nietzsche and stuff like that. But I've recently introduced myself to Alan.
So he's I believe this is 2 months later. He is off the therapy and still looking for those happy times. Gary Delabate, can you tell us about those happy times?
You and I were really happy together when they were happy times. Unfortunately, it wasn't all the time.
Such an odd statement to make, Gary Delabate. They were happy times when they were happy times, but they weren't always.
That there are some fundamental truths that every philosopher, every self-help guru, they all go over. And once I'm beginning to understand these fundamentals, life is becoming a lot more enjoyable for me. And hey, since you made it this long into this video, I'm going to give you that stuff for free, broken down, without having to read a self-help.
He's given us a pat on the back and a congratulations for spending 8 minutes with him. You still are working on those confidence issues. I'm 40 minutes in. Thank you, 5 people, for sticking with me. Boogie is thanking you at 8 minutes in.
A book without having to listen to this for hours and hours and hours. Here's the fundamentals that everyone should know. And you probably already know them, but some of them are news to me. I'll probably make a dedicated video about this stuff. But here's the first thing I learned. I learned what anxiety and depression are, at least for me. Anxiety for me was an attempt to control the world, attempt to control other people, attempt to control the universe, because I've been hurt by people so many times and I didn't want to get hurt anymore.
Oh, I do love going, this is why. I love their analyzation. Yeah, I was a cunt. Here is why I was such.
So I was doing everything I could.
This is my justification. Instead of stopping that behavior, I stopped some of it, but here's why some of it still exists.
To keep people from hurting me or put them in the positions where they wouldn't hurt me. And that's where all the manipulation claims come from, because that's what I was doing. I was manipulating people to try, because of my anxiety, to keep myself from getting hurt. And the more I got hurt,
Me, I have more along the lines of the goodwill hunting, with the pushing people away. I will not do the Boogie strategy. I will just, and a lot of times, almost all the times, every time, it is not on purpose when I push people away emotionally. And whoopsie, sorry, call me Will Hunting.
The more I did it. And my depression was me refusing to participate in the system.
One of the reasons I'm single.
Sick of all the ads like
my
this one?
Goodwill
Just head to
Hunting
adskiller.com.
Accidental pushing away of folks. Rochi is coming here just for 1,000 quid. Is that euros? I've got to get more familiar. I've actually got at least as many UK fans as I do viewers, as I do American fans. For just $1,000, you too can lose weight. Just buy my book, and I will tell you exactly the way you can lose it. I have a $1,000 program in installments that you can. It's pounds. Thank you. That is indeed for 1,000 pounds. You can lose weight by giving me that $1,000. I will help you. Dabble Storian. Boogie shot at a. Yes, that's the first time I heard Boogie. I know he pulled the gun. Did he shoot? I definitely know he pulled the gun, but that's where Boogie2988 got on my radar, was when a troll showed up at his door to fuck with him, and he got so flipped the fuck out. He brandished his gun, and just doing that. He didn't need to shoot in order to get himself an arrest warrant, to get himself arrested. Putting more words in there than are necessary, like the Barry White promo. Motherfucker putting more words in here than it needs to be. To scare off. Okay, it was Frank Hassel when Boogie told him to come down after. Oh, Boogie incited it. Of course he incited it. That's hilarious. Frank said he could hypnotize him. Boogie was arrested. Okay, Rochi and Dabble Storian are more familiar with this story than I am. He did indeed shoot in the air. Like, you can't do that. Unless you are actually physically intimidated, physically harmed, you have a case there. But you can't point guns at people. You especially can't fire them, even if it is in the air, unless you're celebrating. There's a loophole there somehow. And what was it? Once upon a time in Mexico, one of the characters died because people were celebrating, and one of the bullets came down. And like, that's a real thing. Those bullets got to come down. They aren't escaping the Earth's atmosphere. Dabble Storian, back to Stuttering John, he's talking about, made the same mistake last night about the pounds and euros. I was joking when I said you were copying. Oh no, I am really an ignorant American fuck with the pounds and the euros and such. Hopefully, I now will remember that it's kind of been a small little deal here where I was like, euro, pound, and Rochi, pound. Yes, us Americans are very ignorant of other cultures, and many Americans are pissed off when other cultures aren't hyper aware of American cultures. I've got to be more aware of what's going on in the rest of the world. Oh, did we lose you, Boogie? Oh, I accidentally muted you. That's what happened.
Then I wasn't going to play it at all. And my depression just told me to stop doing it. And that's what I did, because that's a terrible way to live. But that's what anxiety and depression were for me, and I'm curious if you suffer from those.
And yeah, depression. Actually, yes, Boogie, we are connecting here. See, I would make a great co-host because I have my own dealings with mental health and going in cycles of depression, which is why I say I'm most likely bipolar too. The hypomania is great, and the depression, you don't want to leave the house. You don't want to do anything. You don't want to exercise. Even walking the dogs is a hassle and an ordeal when you are in a depressive state. So I understand what you're talking about there, Boog.
Those issues. Is that what it is for you? This seems like it deserves its own dedicated video soon, so I probably will do that. But let's keep going. Life does have a purpose, not necessarily a meaning, but a purpose, and the purpose is to live it.
And when you do have mental health, there's a lot of the public who aren't very open to hearing it and are closed-minded. They will give you...
If he were schizophrenic, it wouldn't take away from the fact that the
I am
defendant...
not crazy.
give you a stare like that when you're trying to explain your mental unwellness and not being crazy of being allergic to electromagnetism.
And I know that's just so obvious.
Chuck McGill would have died immediately on the Lost Island with all the electromagnetism magic that they had going on.
Right, but we're always looking for like this higher purpose, this big thing that we're supposed to be doing, serving God or serving this or serving that. Serve yourself, man. And I don't hurt other people, but take care of yourself, take care of other people. That's it. It's to have a good experience doing this and help other people have a good experience. That's entirely it.
You sound like the easy for you to say book. What are we here for except to help people? Right? Like and since I'm on a Stuttering John off-ramp, Dabblestorian has more to say. He's too ignorant. Everyone is copying everyone according to him. He's original. Like everyone's taking inspiration. Like this show took inspiration from who are these podcasts in the way that I'm reviewing, but I'm doing my own spin on it, more of a react style. And I'm being more positive, even if it is a positivity that's busting your balls at the same time. And yeah, my TikTok around the clock show, that actually wasn't inspired by Carl. I wanted to launch that a while ago, but I hadn't figured out the StreamYard, and it's easy to figure out StreamYard. You just need to jump into it to figure it out and practice with it. But yeah, that was a parallel thinking that when Blind Mike and Carl Hamburger launched Who Are These Socials, I'm like, shit, I wanted to do something like that. But the For You page on my TikTok is just pure madness. So that's what I was like, oh, good. I can still do my own angle on this. And certainly they're not the first ones to have a social media show either. Everyone stole from Howard. Oh, yeah. Howard Stern says that everyone stole from him, and John's still drinking that Kool-Aid. And Howard Stern invented reality television. If you listen to him, he has a case for some of the things people stole from him. Most he doesn't. Most he's just being megalomaniacal.
At least we get to experience something. It's better than the alternative, which is experiencing nothingness, the thing that you experienced before you were born. It's better to experience trials and tribulations and true pain. I mean, I've had my heart broken.
Oh, you must be a young soul. I'm an old soul. I didn't experience nothingness before birth.
People that I love. I've dealt with awful misery in my own mental and physical health, and I'm now grateful for that because the alternative was not existing at all, and I'm glad. You know, because one philosopher, modern day philosopher, said, you should live your life like you chose it because you did.
Modern day philosopher. Once again, if I previewed these beforehand, I would have a Patrice O'Neill drop. He is was a modern day philosopher, a current day prophet. It's so disappointing that he was on the verge of breaking through. He kept getting in his own way in Hollywood, and Chris Rock actually had a talk with him of like, you were my guy for the Everyone Hates Chris show. Terry Crews was the studio's guy. And Patrice had such a bad reputation that Terry Crews got the part rather than Patrice.
You did. Every step of the way, you made choices that led to the life you're living right now. You chose this life. Oh, there's a lot of things that are out of my control. I was born to this parent. I was born in this area.
I was born a poor black child.
Born poor. I was born this way. I was born whatever. I have this disability. Doesn't matter.
All you need to do is figure out what to do with your special purpose, and you will get out of that funk, Boogie.
Doesn't matter. On a cosmic scale, you probably picked that too, but there's no scientific proof of that. But what I can tell you is every decision you made up till now has led to the current life you live. It's also the only life you get to live. So live it and experience gratitude for it, because if you show gratitude for it, the universe will show you that gratitude back, I think. And on top of that, You should be great.
That is actually something that I preach as well, is to show gratitude. Showing gratitude helps your mind. And if you believe in like the manifestation and stuff, gratitude will help that manifestation happen. If you do believe in that mumbo jumbo.
You're experiencing this because it's fucking awesome. There's pets to play with and people to hang out with and food to eat and shows to watch and books to read and games to play and nature to enjoy and just wow. Go out and do some of the things that you can control.
Everything in life is about time.
I forgot about Patrice and Furry Vengeance. He had some random appearances. He had a Tosh.0 before Tosh.0 with his Web Junk 2.0. Once again, another show taking inspiration from America's Funniest Home Videos, but doing it in a unique style, a certain angle on it.
Things that you do feel like you have access to. And the more you do those things, the more you're going to like life. For me, that's been playing the Diablo beta. It's been playing with my dogs.
Beta!
Lands of the Gathering with my friends and watching shows with my friends.
Yeah, actually, as funny as that is, getting my video games are getting me happy. If it works for you, it works for you.
Hanging out and just bullshitting with my roommate. I think that's another huge thing that I was getting wrong. Find people you can vibe with. I
gotta pull that
as
wrong
alone as humanly possible. I wouldn't get a Discord account. I wouldn't go on a Discord server to talk to people. I wouldn't text people back. I wouldn't be on the phone very often. And I only wanted to see my friends once a week. All I did was vibe with my dogs. Now I'm making every opportunity to be around others now that I no longer am fearful of getting hurt or fearful of.
And I've mentioned that as well, of making a damn good attempt to get out into public and be personable with people. All of last year, I was just miserable at my job and I would just stay in. I did like absolutely nothing, but doing that and not being personable did give me a nice little money pile so I can do this nonsense with you over the summer, 5 days a week. Yeah, it'll certainly back down to 3 when I start getting income again.
To control it. I'm just experiencing it, enjoying it.
Earning income, rather.
Here I am. So I'm really trying to do that. And the bonus is I'm staying the hell off of Twitter because I keep myself busy around actual people.
So actually, that is kind of something when you're when me talking about 2022 just completely being miserable. Sometimes you just have to be like, I'm in the shit. We need to be in the shit to pay our bills, and just finding a way to get out. Eventually, we will get out of the shit. I can't see the light yet, but yeah, once this 2023 came around, I got out of the shit and not making money, but having fun.
Fuck Twitter. That place is a cesspool. That deserves its own dedicated video as well, but I'm so done with that place. I mean, I'll probably tweet a couple times a day for the rest of my life, say hello and post videos and live streams and stuff.
Nope, you can't tweet multiple times a day. You can X multiple times a day. Oh boy, what a billionaire mental breakdown we are all witnessing. That guy needs to go in a rubber room, take half his money, give it to his family, and disperse the other half between the nations of the world, honestly.
I think I'm done using it as like a social thing where I try to get validation because it is the opposite of validating. By design. I mean, Elon Musk knows what he's doing there. But here's the biggest one.
Yeah,
a lot of us seek comfort today. And by doing so, we guarantee misery in the future. But if we choose to do the hard stuff...
Ooh, Misery in the Future. That is a good watch. I'll put that on my watch list. I have not watched Kathy Bates' Hobble. Was it James Caan? But yeah, very great performance by Kathy Bates in Misery. I will take your advice and put that on the watch list.
Make yourself miserable. But if you choose to do the hard stuff today, then tomorrow can be a little bit better. And I chose, especially during the COVID times, but after my divorce, to sit on my ass and do not much of anything. And I was doing a little therapy, but that was about it.
We all got in that pattern.
I sat in my chair and I just let time.
Well, most of us got in that pattern. Once being on that pattern of we're just homebodies. We are all dark side Phils, not going to the outside world. I had to make an effort to change that.
By because that was comfortable to do, and instead of doing the work, and in the end, I made myself far more miserable than I ever would have been had I done the work. If you seek comfort now, it often will mean you'll pay for it later. But if you do the hard work now, you'll be more comfortable later.
Instant gratification, in the long term, often brings shit.
That's, I think, the thing that a lot of morbidly obese people get wrong. I think we seek the food that comforts us, the laziness that comforts us, the depression.
And food is one of those addictions what is it, Norm Macdonald's bit where you can yell at a gambler. No, I'm getting my bits confused. But you need food. Like, you must have food, and food is delicious, and it's easy to just be like, give me more quesadillas, more quesadillas, more quesadillas. So a little bit of a harder addiction to kick than like gambling or some drugs. I'm not so sure. We'll have to see an opioid addict versus a fat person and measure which one has the worst cravings.
The world, we're afraid to do the hard work. And so we become morbidly obese. We become trapped in our own minds, in our own bodies, in our own homes. We seek that comfort.
Trapped. I hate everything about you. Oh, boy. Save it for karaoke, Dillon. It stinks here. Actually, no, Dillon. Don't do new metal at karaoke.
Early.
Unless it's Disturbed.
If we did the work instead, we would have benefited from it for the rest of our lives. And others benefit from it too. If you have any morbidly obese people in your life, sometimes they can be a real drag. They can be a real letdown. Lord knows I let my ex-wife down because of my obesity. So let's try to do better. Let's try to do better every day. Let's try to do a little bit of the hard work every day so our tomorrows can be better. That's every self-help book in a nutshell.
Boogie is sounding like Jerry Springer at the end of his episodes. And now our final thought. Be good to yourself and each other.
I hope it helps. So, hey there, superfan. You made it all the way to the end of this long 15, 16-minute rambling video. And if you did, I would like to give you a keyword to type in the comment section. And if you use that keyword, then I will know you made it all the way to this video. And I just want you to talk about this little Pac-Man figure here behind me. Just say Pac-Man. And if you do, I see it. I'll heart your comment and let you know that I appreciate you watching all the way to the end of the video. And it makes all the difference in the world. The algorithm likes it, and I like it. And hopefully you liked it too. So let me know what you think of this rambling video. Let me know what you think about one of the latest videos. Let me know what's going on in your life. Just let's talk today in the comment section. I want to hear from you. And as always, thanks for watching. I love you very much.
Oh, and there's his girlfriend. Yeah, there's his girlfriend who is way much more hotter than you would think Boogie could get. But he did do that LOLCow Boxing, got a lot of positive feedback from people. And where was I going with that? I forget. Good luck, Boogie. You still weigh a fucking lot, and your pants fell down in a boxing match. So thank you for doing that. Dabble Storian, Howard Stern's lesbian love connection is ahead of its time. Oh yes. And Jim Norton actually had a trans talk show that he was trying to do a pilot for that didn't get off the ground. There's certain aspects of comics that are way ahead of its time. And Howard definitely was in the lesbian game long before a lot of other people. But that's all we have from Boogie for today. We had those 2 videos. He seems to be doing well. So good luck, Boogie, and not falling down those traps. So let's go to TikTok for a news update. Which one of these views? That's the view. We have more on celebrity boxing. This is not LOLCow Boxing that our puppet friend is reporting on. This is Sam Newsman that is reporting. A puppet reporter. Tell us about what's going on in the billionaire boxing world's Sam Newsman.
Broadcasting live on Hump Day, July 12th in the year 2023. Mark Zuckerberg is literally flexing, laughing, and taunting Elon Musk to get in the cage as Cornel West contemplates a third-party bid, giving the establishment left the jitters. Chipotle is testing a robot that makes guacamole faster than humans as AI junk starts to pollute the internet. Starts to pollute. And
yeah, we've gone way past the point of starting to pollute. Stop teaching the machines things, folks. They're going to start talking to the trees, and the AI and the trees are going to fucking kill us. The trees can't do it on their own, but with AI's help, they are taking down the human race.
And finally, this is your daily reminder to vote for me for the best local morning radio show in Richmond. Follow the link in my profile.
Oh, and he's got a little plug. If you like Sam Newsman, vote for him. He is a puppet from Richmond, Virginia. I assume Richmond, Virginia. I don't know any other Richmonds. And meanwhile, let's go over to the UK. I believe this is the UK. That's where the LOLCow Boxing took place. And we have a elderly man in a cashless store who's not going to take their shit.
To buy anything. I'm going to buy some strawberries, and I'm offering exactly the right amount of money here on the help desk. So you people take that money, £1.90, and I will take my strawberries outside.
You can't
If
take
you want
that.
to call the police,
You can't take
call the
that. Police is on their way. You can't take that. Police is on their way. You can't take that.
Listen to him trying to stop that.
I paid by legal tender.
No. Don't
It's the
break
cashless store. We don't want your cash.
I paid by legal tender, and I am going out with my strawberries. And I'm going to eat them. I'm going to eat my
I
strawberries.
love that phrase. I have paid my legal tender.
I paid my legal tender in this dystopian place.
Okay.
Brilliant.
I have paid my legal tender in this dystopian place that refuses to take my cash. Oh, Rochi's familiar with this dude. This guy's been doing this for years. Hippie fuck. This hippie fuck does not like where technology is going. I can imagine him flipping out on a self-checkout as well.
Absolutely brilliant. Because you should be able to, spend your eye. One here, good. You should be able to spend whatever you want. This is an absolute joke.
You want one, mate?
Thank you.
Sharing his strawberries that he bought with his legal tender. This is coming from absolute genius. I don't know if he has more of that hippie fuck, as Rochi called it. I was very entertained by that hippie fuck paying legal tender to a place that does not want his legal tender. And let's go over to France. We have a pretty lady by the Eiffel Tower. A clapper flashlight. Hopefully she doesn't have the clap, because I would like to help her get that flashlight out of its storage space. We have a report for the hypocrisy police here from TikTok. We have an officer of the hypocrisy police. Oh, one more thought on that hippie fuck. He tried to stop roads being built, and I can understand when you go down that hippie rabbit hole of no, do not disrupt wildlife. There's a certain rope walk to be done of environmentalism versus expanding society, and they definitely conflict with each other. So here we have got, what is your name, sir? This you.official to, oh, wow, I've got to go ahead and give this guy a follow. This is a hard-working member of the hypocrisy police. This you.
Hey, TikTok, this is my fucking petition to exterminate every bitch who does this shit all the time. I'm so quirky. Shut the fuck up.
She just advocated for the extermination of herself. I don't know if she's having some problems with her mental health the way that Boogie is, or if she just is like our buddy Stuttering John and is ignorant to how much of a hypocrite that she really is. Dabble story, and you could just play oil protesters getting destroyed in the UK. Everyone will love it. We'll see if that lends itself to this program. Might have to seek out those features for the TikTok show. I can definitely fit them in there. This format, as I said, not all broadcasts lend themselves to the co-host audition format. So we are now on to the recurring segment of sexy clowns. We have got two quick videos from two different sexy clowns. This first is Shaylee. Shaylee, we've heard from her before.
We don't have depression or anxiety. And life.
You didn't have to flex on me like that.
Boogie doing a little bit better with his management of his mental health than our sexy clown there. And since that one was a quick one, I was like, let's go ahead and get 2 of them in. We have Saigo's Meow here, first time featuring her in the Sexy Clown segment. This is basically a regular segment. I do it almost every co-host audition, especially now that I pulled a bunch of them beforehand.
It's true. I would like to be happy like you guys, but I have no idea how.
So you dressed up like a horse?
Have pity on me.
It's a good start. You paint a smile on yourself, and maybe that smile will become real. Fake it till you make it is the plan of some clowns, and hopefully it is working for our new sexy clown there, Saigo's Meow. That is all I have for today. We've got Dabblestorian coming in with another chat. Howard is doing bowling with celebrity guests while interviewing. So much better than the desk interview. Oh, yes, bowling alleys just have such great sound quality. Oh, going back to that bowling well, huh? They had a bowling show on Howard 101 at some point. And whenever they had an original show on Howard 101, it didn't last long. They did not have much of a budget there for the Howard On Demand channel. The Miss Howard Stern episode, I believe, lasted 4 episodes, something ridiculously short like that. Same with, original content on the WWE network. You had the, like the ripoff of the VH1 show where they put, of The Surreal Life, where they put a bunch of old wrestlers in a house. And that one, did that one go 6 episodes? They teamed up with Seth Green for some Adult Swim type cartoon. And once again, I don't even think it made it to 6 episodes, where honestly, I would really try to get 10 apiece. It just seems like a more solid foundation, and 8 episodes just goes quick. I say 8 because that was Oz on HBO, had 8 episodes per season, and I just really wish they had 10 because it seems like they could have done more, but maybe I'm wrong. I wasn't one of the creators. Actually, they talk about there was a lot of deleted scenes from season 1, specifically with the psychiatrist of the jail, Rita Moreno, who played a filthy whore in a lot of roles, took on the role of Sister Peter Marie, I think it was, in the Oz show. And yeah, they talk about a whole lot of therapy scenes that would have fleshed out character development. So yeah, I wish they would have went with 10 instead of 8. It sounds like we missed some stuff that could have been fun in Oz. And I could talk about that show for a while. I love Gottfried doing Dice impressions. I'm a fan of Gilbert Gottfried's Dice impressions even more than Anthony Cumia. Anthony Cumia has a more accurate Dice impression. Fuck it. No, I'm not going to do it. I've once again, another swing and a miss. 2 strikes there. Thank goodness we're getting out of here now before I get a 3rd strike. Might as well go for the 3rd strike since we're getting out. But thank you folks. Thank you folks for joining today. Tomorrow we'll be back with Val Venus co-host Audition. The second time that I'm using a character name rather than a real name, because no one knows who the fuck Sean Morley is. And he's I've compared him to Delete Laws. He's gone a little loopy. I'm not sure who Wednesday is. I had one picked out, but when I previewed it, once again, as saying of lending itself, I'm not sure it lends itself to this style. TikTok around the clock Thursday, and then we do it all again next week. Live streaming Sunday through Thursday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern. Thank you so much for joining. Now go away and check out my other